Dope voice music.
Yeah, can already tell some want me to fail, but I wish the best for you. Some get mad if I can't respond fast, like I've been neglecting you. Some throw fits when I turn down gigs, like I'm disrespecting you. I got a kid, I got a wife, I got a job, just like the rest of you. Don't get it twisted, I love this attention. This business is wicked, I can't always kick it. Yo, this is me venting, I'm trying to transition. I made this decision, now I gotta live it, but lately it feels I've been misunderstood. My homies, they want me to chill, just wishing I could. I've been under pressure and overstressed. It ain't over yet, I've been some haters, but I coach the rest with no regrets. Use my platform to promote and rep, not overstep. Showed y'all nothing but respect, and yeah.
They say we acting like we made it. Nah, we on the road, too many mountains to climb. Don't know which way to go. They say we move so calculated. Yeah, but you should know, whenever we fan the flames, we ready for all the smoke. They say we acting like we made it. We on the road, so many mountains to climb. Don't know which way to go. They say we move so calculated, but you should know, whenever we fan the flames. You know.
Hey now.
Yo, this is I Said What I Said with ATG and
John.
Hey, what's up, Brad John? How you doing?
Brad John.
Oh, we doing last names and everything? Brad Williford.
He just said his name and then pointed
You
to
put me on the
John.
spot. I wasn't ready.
I did. That's my bad.
I wasn't ready.
He goes, Brad. And, he points like y'all can see him pointing. He points over to John. And John.
Well, his thing is.
I don't need to intro myself, dog.
No, it's all good.
Oh, no, keep it on, bro.
Oh, yeah, no, it is.
This episode, we're gonna do some comparisons, and we're going to argue a little bit about our favorite hip hop artists, comedians, and possibly R&B singers.
Who knows,
John
maybe
might have
country.
to country. Yeah.
I've got a bunch written.
Willie Nelson,
That's it.
Little Nas X, go.
Going with Willie.
Go.
That guy will smoke anybody over.
Right. All right.
That's a good idea.
Should we go super basic and start with Tupac?
Yeah, let's go straight into it. He's on it.
I must say, I will. If that's the one we're gonna do, Tupac and Biggie start off. I want to say I think that was when we met. I think we were walking home from the bus stop one day, and I was like, "Hey man, you're cool. When's your birthday?" And you were like, "July 25th," and I was like, "You lying? Mine's July 25th." And you said I was lying, and I walked into your room. We was going to play the Dreamcast from.
Why you gotta tell everybody how old we are? First of all.
And then, you had the same Tupac posters I had up on the wall on the same wall because all the apartments were the same. I was like, did we just become best friends?
That's funny. It's like first day we met. Hey man, what's your birthday?
What's your social security number?
Hey, what's your sign, homie? I like you.
What's your mom's maiden name?
But so I was a big Pac fan, but then
You like Tupac?
I really got into Biggie after once I stopped. Just like I actually gave him a chance because I grew up. It was all about Pac. I was like,
Right, yeah, that's true.
And so
couldn't
once I
be
gave
like
him
a
a
fan of
chance,
both
I was
back
like,
then.
yo, he's got some dope shit. And I really got into a lot of the East Coast guys like Big L, Gangstar. Those are a lot of the big ones that I'm really get into. Like that new Granada dude, I really like him, and he's like nobody's heard of him. It seems like, and I think he's fucking ill. I don't know where he's been or what he's been doing.
So I'm gonna say right off the bat, it looks like it's two. Wait, actually, I don't know. You going Biggie or
Pac
you
still.
going Pac? Oh yeah, he's like Pac
That's
still.
a big-
Because John's a Biggie guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can respect it.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
What I will say is, I think Biggie's a better rapper.
I think that's why I like him.
But I think,
Pac was
but
a
I mean,
showman.
but it also it depends on like what are you including in like what you critique in rap.
Well, it's the same thing as like when we said, do you consider Post Malone hip hop? Because he's more than just a rapper.
Right.
And I guess that's subjective because I'm basing it just off Biggie being a better rapper. But we say Biggie or Tupac, and it's not just saying rapping ability.
Right.
Some people look at it different.
Because if you're just looking at the technical aspect of rapping, I'll say Biggie all day. But I like content as far as like, what do I relate to more? Do I relate more to what Biggie was saying or what Pac was saying?
Substance.
Substance, yeah. Like, I couldn't relate to shit Biggie was
I mean,
saying.
Tupac was worth $30 million more than Biggie.
Wow.
Net worth of Tupac was $40 million.
He was doing those
Biggie
movies,
was
though.
10.
I saw
Oh,
something back in the
that's what
day
I'm
that they
saying.
broke down the differences and it's like the West Coast and East Coast battle thing. And they said, you know, if you look at the East Coast rappers, it was all about the being on the grind. And it wasn't, you know, West Coast was flashy. They had the fucking cars hopping in the music videos.
Right.
And they was talking about all the jewels and everything. And the other dudes who were
Shit,
from
that
New
was
York.
Biggie?
Yeah, but, yeah.
And Jay-Z.
Yeah. Well.
That's
You
another-
actually made me actually take Jay-Z from a whole nother angle. When we worked together at Top Care back in the day, I was like, I like this shit. And I still do.
What, did
Don't
you
get me
turn
wrong.
him
Like
off?
the Blueprint, that was my, you know, no, I thought he was,
Did
lyrically,
Antonio...
he's not the greatest by no means and when it comes to lyrics. But I mean, he's done some hell of a good bit. He's a good businessman. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Antonio made you
realize
that
that
he
wasn't,
sucks.
yeah, pretty much.
Not suck, but not as good as
suck,
everybody
not
thinks
suck.
he is.
Back then, Antonio would have said
I mean, I
suck.
like Jay-Z.
Yeah, I probably would have.
That was his Tech 9 phase too, I remember.
Yo, Tech, man. That's
Who
another
do you
one.
compare it to? Who would you say Tech 9 or who? But what? E40?
Twister.
Oh, Twister.
I would say Twister.
But that's...
But I think Tech wins that
Yeah.
by a landslide.
Or do you go into who's the best independent rapper? Because who's better than... who's even in Tech 9's realm there? E40?
What about
E40's
the
all,
Bones? What
all
about the
independent.
one bone that's fucking like Twister?
Busy?
Yeah.
Busy or crazy? I mean, man, you know what? I'm going to say with this. I don't know if he can, like, I want to hear Busy and Tech 9 get on the song and really bar out. But I think Busy Bone is extremely underrated. Because I think, and this is unpopular opinion, but Busy has, like, they did songs with Pac and they did songs with Biggie. And with both of those songs, Busy Bone goes right after both of those rappers. And I think he cleans both their asses up. I think he destroyed Biggie and Pac on
So
those songs.
he was the lighter fluid to that feud.
Yeah,
on
that was
both sides.
I think they like Bone did that shit on purpose. They was like, all right, yeah, we got on the song with Pac. All right, let him do his thing. Busy get on there and fucking kill him.
Watch this. I'm gonna show you what rap beef is.
Right, like, and like. I'm just
All
saying.
right, well, that's a good question that I just thought about. Who do you think had the better diss track
And what?
out of Piggy and Pac?
Biggie and Pac.
The diss track.
See, but who shot you?
I love that
Biggie
song.
doesn't claim that as a diss track.
Right.
And come on now, I mean, against Hit 'Em Up too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
even if it was a diss
First
track,
off, fuck your
right?
bitch.
Yeah. I remember
He
hearing
was like,
that,
oh my
hearing that
God.
as a child. I was like scared. I was like, yo, shit got this is scary, man. Like, this is real.
You claim to be a player, but
Just-
I fucked your wife. I was like, oh shit.
Right, like the very first seconds of the song coming on. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. And I'm like, yo,
Turning it up a little bit.
I bet the engineer was like, yo.
But then they try to cut him down. They were like,
Right,
cut it off.
You
And
gonna
hear
take that
him-
intro off, right? Nope. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. That's still to this day. There's no diss track that's as hateful as that one is, man. It's like you knew somebody.
You
I was
can
like, somebody gonna
understand
die.
somebody get shot.
Somebody about to die
after
over
that,
this. Yeah, this is
Pac getting shot again.
damn. Yeah, I was like, this, damn again, man. You just got shot, got out of the jail, man. Can you chill for a minute? You got out. Nope, nigga. That's why I fucked your bitch. Like in
Remember that time we went to the movies?
oh, here we go.
It was to see the Tupac Resurrection documentary. And Miguel got kicked out, and then
Oh, Zach's getting involved. All right, go on.
oh yeah, he
Let me turn the mic up on this one.
I forget what happened. I know they came in to check our IDs, and Miguel like told him we were there with his mom. Instead of having like the dude that was right in front of us that we were just joking around with, saying we were with him. And yeah, he was. I forget what he did. I think he like pissed on the side of the fucking theater.
Dude,
or something.
are you talking about Zach?
Yeah.
That dude loves to pee.
Pee on stuff, man. Yeah, he did that shit back
Bro.
then. We had a
Little
house
white R.
party.
Kelly.
Let me tell you about it when you're done.
All right, so
Oh
here
my
we-
goodness.
Since we're going on the tangent, fuck it. Now we're talking about Zach peeing on stuff. All right, so like, what was it? We had a house party back in the day. We lived not too far from here. But like
that shit was dope though. I give it to Zach. Like he had the baddest party.
I'm
you talking about that one?
No, I'm talking about at my house. This was at my house on my back porch, man. I'm in the house somewhere. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I think Mandy came up to me and was like, "Your friends whipped his dick out. He back here pissing on stuff." Like he just like apparently stood up, pulled his dick out, turned around, and peed where he was sitting, like on the stool that he was sitting on, and then put it back in, and then like turned around and sat in the piss.
Yo, my dude was fucking just wasted.
I've seen somebody get up off of the sleeping on the floor with a pillow, just pillow on the floor, get up on his knees and get like whip his dick out, get ready to pee on the pillow that he's sleeping on. And we were like, no, it wasn't Zach, but Zach. Sure. I've lived with Zach for a while, and that dude, we were having a party, and it was towards the end of the night, and the half a dozen people that were left just look out my bedroom door and see him peeing down the steps. And he thinks it, like he's just at the top of the steps, carpet by the way on these steps. He's just peeing down them. The apartment owner's like getting pissed at him. He's like, "Fuck you, fuck." And then when we had the Bayshore house, he walks up into my buddy Eddie's room, opens the bottom drawer to their dresser, and just starts peeing in it. And like they don't correct him until you hear.
I've been that drunk though. Usually
you
when
don't know where the toilet is.
Are involved, and like I did that once to my. I had an ex in Carolina, and we were staying together, and she had this real old antique thing, and it was handed down to her, and me and her friend came in from Alabama. And we were all partying. We all went to the bar, did a bunch of, drugs and shit. And then we came back and continued to drink. Well, I guess I got blacked out drunk. And I went to go to sleep. And they were in the bedroom. But I opened up her drawer to that real nice vanity thing they had. Took a leak in it like it was the bathroom. And they like yelled. They said they yelled at me. And I looked back. And
That's basically what Zach did on the stairs.
And I went to sleep while they cleaned it all up. Fucked up hundreds of dollars worth of makeup and shit.
That's why I don't drink like that, man. Fuck that.
All I could think about was her hot friend seeing my pecker. Like, well, did I even have any, or was it not like a pretty pecker? Was it a shriveled up old white little inchworm pecker? Come on, because, grower. God damn it.
Jesus Christ. So, Tupac and Biggie.
Oh.
No. I think we already. Where were we on?
We talked about tech, and then we talked about.
Are you talking about who's big? Like, who else is an independent? Like, who would be big?
Yeah, who's the next most successful independent?
See, this is hard because.
Isn't E40 one of them?
Yeah, I would say. But, what about Chance the Rapper? Or, he's supposed to be independent, but I don't know. I heard maybe he has, a publishing deal, and he hasn't been quite honest. But he always talks about how he has no label. Or,
last time he put out music.
Macklemore was supposed to be independent.
Yo, my old lady loves Macklemore. I think he's got some decent shit.
Man, he slept on. I'm not saying he ain't.
Oh yeah,
he's not in the realm of Tech Nine.
No.
But I mean,
my boy from Seattle that I was telling you about, he's down here now working at Wash U as a little doctor and shit. Little doctor, he does brain shit. Yeah. But he was down there and he was at a party because he worked with all those bands and shit for that label. And I guess seen Malcolm Moore or some shit with some fur coat on and was making fun of him. Was like, you didn't get that from the thrift shop. Shit. Called him out at some party out in Seattle. But those people are the most passive, aggressive people in the world. They're so cool. Seattle's awesome. I think that was my favorite place that I've been on. Seattle's not. Y'all, the discrepancies would love Seattle.
Cans.
You guys go down there, you'll book plenty of venues. And you'll have a blast. Yeah, like that Cha-Cha place, that little postcard I got over there. With the Misfits skull. That shit's, it's like a Misfits bar. It's awesome.
We've been offered already this year a couple of West Coast tours that one of them is up in the air right now. I don't know. But we shall see. That'd be crazy.
It'd be fun. It's expensive out there, but it's definitely the best weed is in Oregon and Seattle. The best. Colorado. Cali, I haven't really gotten anything from them in a long time. But Seattle and Oregon have like been the king so far that I've smoked. So, well, I know you don't care. What about the rest of your band? Garrett doesn't seem like much of it. Well, yeah. You know,
Man, you think I'm finna come on here and just out everybody? I'm like, hey, all right, so and so, yeah, that's all he does. He smoke weed all goddamn day.
If we were talking about drinking, though, it'd be a different story if it was like drinking.
Man. I'm not about to out everybody. They'll come on here and say what they do if they
We're gonna
want
get
to.
them fucked up.
Yeah.
I got mushrooms
I'll tell
in
y'all,
the fridge.
after this
I
goes-
got L over here. I got
When
some
this isn't
acid.
recorded, I'll tell y'all.
I think I know. I don't know. The only one I don't know is the new guy. There's the new drummer since Steve left. What is he doing?
Steve?
Yeah. He still did the little band that he had where he plays at the blues bar that I was working at.
Yeah, he's in a cover band called Pulp Friction.
Nice.
And he's in another band called The Poor.
Yeah, I know. I seen him at the little Sky Music Lounge that I was bartending and bar backing at. And dude, that guitarist he had,
He cold. Jameson?
man. And what I liked about it is he called out his mistakes and shit. He was just there practicing, you could tell, but he was just killing it. I was like mesmerized. Then I got stuck on watching Steve. Steve's pretty fucking decent with the sticks too. Like he's got some moves back
Man,
there.
Steve ain't shit.
Yeah, fuck you, Steve.
Fuck Steve, man. Nah, yeah, he cold. Let's go to. All right, so let's try to name the hip hop Mount Rushmore. Who would be on your hip hop Mount Rushmore, Brad?
Oh man,
It's different from your favorite artist.
Do we just
Should
name
we
them all?
have done favorite artists first?
maybe y'all should do this so I can get a good example of what the hell y'all are talking about.
Well, Mount Rushmore isn't necessarily your favorite, right? That's
No. But I guess the way that I would do mine is I'm gonna pick my favorite from like each,
Generation?
from each generation, somewhat. Yeah. I'd probably do that. So like I'd go, mine probably would be LL Cool J, then Tupac, and then Eminem, and then probably Jordan Lucas. That's weird because he's so new. But I'm saying if I think in this generation, I don't think any rapper out is fucking with him or King Los.
The original hip hop generation, you picked LL Cool J.
Yeah. That's not all the way back to like.
No, not early 80s.
Yeah.
You know.
That's like when my first introduction.
That was the hip hop boom.
Yeah. LL he was cold, man, back in the day.
Yeah, I brought that up on the other one. How, LL was. No one fucked with him.
Yeah.
He wasn't one to get fucked with.
Until Cannabis, I think Cannabis ate him up, but he didn't like technically win. I guess it like who went on to be more successful, LL Cool J or Cannabis? Y'all probably like most people don't know who
Who's
Cannabis is.
I have no idea who Cannabis is.
No, I don't.
You don't know? Oh man, he was so like they did a song. Redman and Method Man had a song, and they had like a shit ton of rappers on it, and like LL Cool J was on there, Cannabis, and like a bunch of other people. But I think Cannabis like said something about the microphone that's on LL Cool J's arm, and he was just kind of twisting the line to like paying homage to him. But LL Cool J took it as like a diss. And spent the whole like LL Cool J goes.
That wasn't during the internet age. Oh wait,
no, and he disses Cannabis. No, it was like because there was a music video on it and everything.
Oh.
And he uses his verse to diss Cannabis on a song, like, and then they got into that like little back and forth beef. But
over a misunderstanding.
yeah, man, Cannabis got into it with his other big beef was with Eminem, like back when Eminem first started. That's when if you ever heard Eminem go "Cannabis," he was calling him "Cannabis" instead of "Cannabis" or whatever. But he's got what is that one song? Oh shit, man, this is gonna mess with me. Square Dance he has a song called Square Dance where he disses Cannabis. But
I don't know this Cannabis guy. I'm gonna look him up later.
No
he's
idea.
dope, but yeah, he's not like I don't know, man. He tried to do the battle rap thing against a disaster, and he got fucking eaten alive. But all right,
What was we talking about?
Hip hop Mount Rushmore.
Oh,
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
The
For
80s
Brad,
ones-
just name 4 rappers.
I know, shit. I guess it would go probably back in the, I guess I like Gangstar. It's a big one of mine. Like, yeah, the Guru is by far one of the.
Dude, Gangstar. I'm sorry to backtrack and interrupt you, but I love that dude. Didn't he pass away right in his prime?
Guru.
Right after fucking Flavor. Isn't he the wait? Gangstar didn't do. Craig Mack died right after Flavor in Your Ear. Gangstar did. Was it
after.
Mass Appeal and a bunch of other jams back then with some hard ass
Yeah,
beats.
I think one of his last ones was that last. It was the shit that he did was Slightly Stupid. He did a song, The Other Side, I believe is what it's called, and he did that with Slightly Stupid, and it was one of the later, like 2000 something, when he passed away. I think the same year.
They just released some new shit.
Who?
Gangstar.
I was
J.
thinking
Cole,
of Craig
with
Mack.
J. Cole. Craig Mack
I
passed
thought he
away
was-
recently, like within the past few years.
I thought Craig Mack passed away like not long after he's made it big.
Nope, man. I think he was like a pastor or something. Like he went on and did a whole different thing
Really?
in life. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Man,
I know M's
I'm
already
dumb.
been said. So M was another one that I, really got into as a kiddo, to the '90s and shit. I mean,
Guru and then
Guru,
Eminem.
M. But there was so many. Big L was
Somebody I
another
forgot about
one.
is
I was a big L fan. And
Big Pun
Ghost,
too.
Big Pun. But no, yeah, I guess Gangstar, M, or and then I went way off. I started getting into some crazy shit like Atmosphere. I really like Atmosphere. I think he's lyrically fucking got some shit. But Immortal, I can't forget Immortal. That's too many. When it gets down to Immortal's definitely in there because he talks about some shit nobody else talks about. And after watching a lot of his shit that he's been on different podcasts and shit and seeing him, I was like, yeah, he's all about it and he preaches what he talks. I mean, whatever. He's decent. I like Immortal. But right now, I don't know. You guys turned me on to that Royce 5'9" guy. He's decent. I liked him.
Decent, man. Royce is probably one of the best
I was
rappers out
I was
right now,
into
man.
that.
He's the one. Yeah, he's the one making songs with the other guy from Gangstar.
I mean, in all honesty, like that, probably the most hip hop I listen to is still like Duddy B because I listen to so much Dirty Heads. It's like I listen to some of his shit and I'm like, man, he could compete if he wasn't a stoner white boy surfer dude that was just talking about stoner white boy surfer dude shit. Then he could compete because he's got some fucking bars.
Right.
But he isn't into all that. It's not his. I don't even know. He's not considered hip hop. They do all kinds of shit though. But what about you, John? What's your big one?
Man, I don't listen to good rap. It's like y'all.
See, I got tired.
Switch over to
Y'all ever heard of D4L?
Oh my god, Fable.
Yeah.
Fable. Yeah, I know a little person by the name of Flavor Flav.
Yeah. No, I guess it ain't that bad. But I don't know. I don't know who people cherish in rap. I just like what I like.
Hey, Bill Burr or Joe Rogan?
Comedy or just in general?
Comedy.
Like stand up, like watching him do stand up. Bill Burr.
Bill.
Bill?
Bill Burr. Just
But
watching just watching him do stand up only. Bill Burr.
But although Joe Rogan's last special, he brought that shit.
Man, his
He's
last
brought
two.
That fucking Harvino watcher, dude, you're gonna be Batman. Like, I was like, oh my god, that shit is hilarious.
hard.
But here's the thing: Bill Burr's been bringing hard specials for
Bill
forever.
Burr. Bill Burr's
That's
got,
all he
like,
does.
Yeah.
He's comedy.
Yeah.
You know, and he does have a podcast. It's not like Joe Rogan's.
No, it's just
Joe
him.
Rogan's is very popular. He's a more likable dude just in the internet.
Where
or
he is
in
like,
media.
what is it, 200 million downloads
Yeah.
a fucking episode.
And I like Joe Rogan.
You
but
know,
when
the
you
dumb
just
that
say
they would-
stand-up comedy, it's got to be
These
the
networks
first.
would kill for those numbers. Like all the other, he gets more numbers than all the other fucking people out there. All the other big time networks on TV and cable television.
Nobody else is
like,
getting interviews with potential presidents. You know, like candidates and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, But he also has said he's done with getting into that political shit. He's like, this is bullshit. Like after they threw such a big fit about the Bernie thing, he's like, that's not why I did it. I just gave him a platform to talk on, and I get it. I like Joe Rogan, so I'm not gonna, There's some shit. Some of it's just boring as fuck to me, but the other shit is fucking awesome. Like I like a lot of the different comedians. He's turned me on to a lot of different comedians that I've really just kind of been like,
Right. Who's the best comedian you've seen live? Like the best show you've been to? Where I stand out.
I really like the Raging Cajun John Morgan. You guys heard of that dude?
You've
seen him?
You've seen him? Dude. He had us in stitches. That was the one we were there, front row, and he was making. He's like, man, I remember being your young man. He's like, I could jerk off and shoot it over my shoulder. I was like, oh my god, we were having it. He is hilarious. But that dude you opened up for brought on that. Talking about put your baby down. Don't make me put that baby. Yeah, he talked about drop kicking that baby. I was like, oh my god. Then he was selling shirts. Don't make me put this baby down.
Don't make me put my baby down.
That guy was awesome.
Jake Baker.
Yeah. But
okay.
I haven't really gone out because
I had to go to some more, man.
Those big time shows. They sell out quick for one. If it's anybody really good.
And it's usually in like a fucking stadium.
Yeah, and they're like, tickets are outrageous. Yeah. You wouldn't believe.
I saw Hannibal Buress at the pageant.
He'd be.
What'd you think?
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. But there were some spots where it was kind of stale a little bit.
It'd be like that.
Yeah, just because he kind of harped on the Nelly for a while. Which is like, it's not like I'm not being like a super fan or nothing, but it just, I think a joke went on too long. We had the DJ, so what is the first, I'm trying to think how that Nelly song starts. The Hot in Here, not Hot in Here, but Country Grammar.
Ah, shit.
I think he does like a weird hum, weird thing.
Which one's Country Grammar? Is it I'm going down, down?
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts with some bass, and he goes, ah, shit.
No.
I'm going. I'm going down.
Yeah, he just had his DJ looping that sound. He's like, there's a million ways to start a song, but Nelly chose this. And he just had it going. He did it for 5 minutes. I was like, all right, man. The first thing he said when he comes out, the very first thing he says, steps out on stage, he goes, St. Louis, what can I say? Your football team went to a better place.
I said that as soon as I heard about that shit, I was like, oh, they're leaving.
It was like the next year. It was like the next year after they left.
You want to go all the players heard that shit and they were like, we're going where?
Right.
L.A.? What did we do to
All
go
right.
to L.A.? How did we get that shit?
The
hell yeah, me and Pujols.
But, yeah, man,
I would have left immediately. I was like, I'm packed up. I would have thrown all my winter coats away and everything.
I didn't think about it. I guess we were like, man, fuck the Rams. They weren't doing.
That's where they came from. They were being punished to coming here.
Hey, I'll give you.
Goes to the roughest city. Where?
I'll give you $5 if you could tell me where the Rams played originally.
L.A., right?
L.A.
No.
That's what I thought. Oh no, where?
No. Cleveland.
What? The Cleveland Rams?
Yep, before L.A. I'll look it up to make sure.
That's wild. That's crazy. It's just like the Lakers, where they were in Michigan or some shit. Ain't no lakes in L.A.
Right.
Who else? Jazz, Utah Jazz. They got them from New Orleans or some shit. That's wild, man. People just ganking teams. They don't even make sense to your city. That's crazy. Damn.
They were talking about getting a basketball team, and then the soccer got brought up, and then all that.
You talking about St. Louis?
XFL.
Well, dude, we're playing right now. The Battlehawks are playing right now. What time is it? The game's probably already over.
What? We got football?
Yeah, we got a football team.
We got football.
You ever heard of the XFL?
Nope.
Oh.
But man, that's
Probably
another thing. I just stopped. I never watched football.
Yo, I like football, and I hated that the Rams left, and I'm so excited for the Battlehawks.
I remember we had some English dudes that were down on the beach for a summer, and they came down, and they were actually there for the year, and we went to took them to this bar that was like big and famous for the Super Bowl because they'd never seen a Super Bowl and then wanted to enjoy it like an American. And they never even watched football really. And they go in there and they call that and they start calling these football players pussies and shit. They're like, shit, what is this? They take too many breaks. They like, and they turned on rugby. I was like, so they later on, they were like turned on some rugby. Like, damn, dude broke his leg in half and they just dragged him off the field as another one ran on. They didn't even stop playing. Yeah. We were all taking knees and holding hands and fucking wiping each other's tears, jerking each other off. Yeah. It's like, get him off the field and get to playing. We pay you millions. You are paid millions. Let them shoot steroids. Let them. I want to see the hard hits. I want to see somebody's like cave just go inwards. Chest just implode. They get hit so hard. They should be allowed to do drug enhancement. They're entertainers. It would be entertaining to see some 400-pound muscle bag hit this. Like,
while we watch UFC, I guess.
I can't believe they don't let them smoke weed. Like they're all worried about what's that Browns receiver that could never.
That was like Ricky Williams. He went to fucking Canada. Yeah. Was like, fuck this. I'm going to Canada.
Didn't he go to Jamaica or something? He's like, fuck this. I'm leaving. Like I'm with hanging out with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. He took a little.
Guy Torrey was talking about how he was making fun of the Rams, and then one of the players was like in the crowd or whatever. He was like some fucking third string fucking player. Like, what are you even mad about? You ain't been on the field all year. He's like, all I got to do is fucking draw a line. You ain't gonna cross it. I was like, damn. All I got to do is draw a goal line. You ain't gonna fucking cross it.
Yeah, aren't the Torrey brothers from here? They're from St. Louis.
Yeah, Guy Torrey and Joe Torrey.
Yeah.
I've seen Guy Torrey twice. He's another one of the comedians that I thought was amazing live.
He's related to Joe Torrey?
They're brothers, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Isn't one of them paralyzed?
I don't think so.
I don't think Joe Torrey's paralyzed. I'll tell you that much.
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong.
Guy Torrey was in that movie Life.
You thinking about Pete Rose's brother?
Maybe. I thought one of them was paralyzed. Maybe I'm just tripping.
So who could you name your comedy Mount Rushmore? Who's your favorite comedians?
Oh, I'm gonna have to put Jamie Foxx up there for sure because a lot of people sleep on him and they don't recognize him for his stand up as much. But that dude is fucking mean when it comes to stand, especially when he was talking about LL and shit and all those back in the day.
You saying Guy Torrey is Joe Torrey's brother?
Yeah, man.
You do realize Joe Torrey is white?
What are you talking about? That must be a different Joe Torrey.
You think of a different Joe Torrey?
Have you ever seen a movie called?
Who's Joe Torrey?
Joe Torrey was. All right, have you?
I'm thinking baseball Joe Torrey.
Probably. Oh no. We're talking about stand-up. Type in comedian Joe Torrey.
Comedians. They're St. Louis comedians.
You'll see this buff-ass black dude. He was in that movie with Tupac and Janet
Jeff
Jackson.
Jam comedians. I think they got their start up doing that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man.
What do you got?
He was the first one, and then Guy Torrey.
To be fair, if somebody says Joe Torrey, they don't think St. Louis comedian.
I think that depends on the pigment.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. You just must not like baseball, huh?
No, I don't. I worked at the stadium bartender. There's some boring ass shit to watch, especially if they motherfuckers go into overtime and shit. Yeah. Overtime or extra innings. It's like, God.
It's not my bag.
No, it's like watching paint dry.
Fucking love baseball.
I remember back though, I was doing it when Pujols was still there, and I remember some games he'd just be, and you just hear fireworks every couple of fucking minutes, just like, God damn,
dude, that
he's just hitting homers just left and right.
That season, Mark McGwire broke the record. That was like that. I went to a lot of games that year.
Yeah, he was not playing,
and it felt like every game you saw a home run by him.
My very first game I ever went to, and no, I've been to more, but the very first one I went to. Like, we sat there. We had, like, the Diamondback seats right behind the batters. And the dude that we were with kept yelling at fucking Barry Bonds, "You fucking suck. Like this giant, like we go to wrestling events like at that age we were always at WWE SmackDown events. So he's like acting like he's at one of those events at the fucking baseball game, just fucking heckling and cussing out the fucking players. But we sat there for like maybe 5 innings, and then we were like, let's get out of here.
I did get to see a couple good fights between the crowd. That was there the year that the Boston Red Sox fans and the St. Louis fans got into it here. That was a good one.
The minute we got
there?
Yeah, I was working.
Oh.
I was working, and I remember I was like in this place. It's all casino themed, I guess. And you could see out over throughout the stand, and you just seen like a clash of red and white. Yeah, that is one thing I could say, like, because I've lived in a lot of different places. You know, St. Louis has got like y'all's baseball, the whole downtown, like when it's a baseball game, a big game too, like y'all definitely got a different energy than
Blues too, man.
Oh,
At least lately.
Especially now the Blues.
Oh yeah, they go ham.
Did you guys see the one game where a cat got on the field at the Cardinal Stadium and one of the groundsmen went and grabbed the cat? He got bit by the cat while he was bringing it back.
Shit.
You guys see that? I was at that game. That
I
was
seen
fun.
my old lady's boss, her husband like plays hockey with them. Like I guess I went to school with them or something and went to one of their parties. Right, they had a trophy party that they went to. Your boss. Yeah. It looked cool, like ice sculptures and shit. Have you? No, the ice hockey, the hockey one.
Yeah, Brad, you been going all over the place.
She's just not used to it yet.
Those parties look dope though.
I don't even remember what I thought we were talking about comedy. How did we get on? We were talking about comedians.
Dude,
Don't you have a show coming up, John?
Oh yeah, we were talking about Joe Torre.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then we got all the way on baseball, and then
Yeah, that's my bad. I don't know who that guy is. So.
He was
I know Guy Torre, the one you were talking about.
That's crazy.
That's why I was like, man, they're brothers. Like that is a stretch.
Yeah, man. Joe Torre was in that movie with Janet Jackson and Tupac back in the day. I can't remember the name of that fucking movie.
Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice. Thank you. Yeah. Check it out. I don't know if it's on Netflix. Class Act is on there. Just brush up on the old school black movies. Class Act is on there. That shit's hilarious. We just watched that today or yesterday. Yes, a mixture.
The old house party movies need to come
house
on
party
there.
movies, yeah. I think they might have put one on
They
there.
had Bebe Kids on there not too long
I saw
ago.
that
Dude,
shit.
I
Yeah.
watched it.
I refuse to watch that shit. That's too ghetto.
That shit is hilarious. That was my childhood. Like that shit, I grew up on that fucking movie.
Who's your favorite comedians?
On the Mount Rushmore, or just my personal favorite?
Let's just go with personal favorites. Let's not.
I already said I like Jim Brewer. Jim Brewer's pretty dope.
Yeah, Jim's.
I like how he's like family man, like pretty clean comedy. Like people that the epitome of comedy. Like old schools like Richard Pryor, George Carlin,
Right.
fucking all the hits. I already said
Old school.
Robert
you mentioned
Schimmel,
Lenny
fucking-
Bruce. Like he was the big.
I never messed with Lenny Bruce, but I like Bruce Bruce.
Lenny Bruce.
That dude was funny.
Lenny Bruce was probably, I think, considered the starter of the whole getting up there and standing up and just talking about real everyday shit and making jokes about it and everything. And back,
I don't know, man.
yeah, you gotta check Lenny Bruce out, man.
Yeah.
If you're doing comedy, like that's one you should check out. He got arrested multiple times for obscenity for his jokes and his comedy. Like 6 times he was
Wait,
arrested.
man, how far back are we going?
For like the 50s and
Oh
shit.
shit!
Oh.
Oh man!
This is before it was like, hey, he's a wise guy, and they would do that kind of comedy and shit.
Oh, that's about that time. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
Lenny Bruce came out and was just straight up with them and walking around and talking
So he
and
was
shit.
transferred.
And not far after, that's Red Fox came in and did a lot of it too, right around the same time. And yeah, I learned all about Red Fox and Richard and all of them comedians. George through my stepdad, but I didn't ever learn about Lenny Bruce. He never watched any Lenny Bruce or showed me any of that because there's really not that much great professional production of Lenny Bruce. But yeah, he was one of those guys.
50s, man. All mine are like current as fuck. I'm going with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, Bill Burr, Hannibal Buress. I don't know. That's probably. I'm gonna stick.
I gotta say,
I like that one dude. I can't remember his
Taj
name.
always gets
Daniel
my
Tosh
shit. I
is
can
hilarious.
listen to shit. I've listened to it multiple times, and it just cracks me up. Love all the time. Like I really like him, and that Anthony Jeselnik or whatever. His last special.
You like that shock shit?
Dude, I do. I love somebody that can put together an abortion joke or a dead baby joke. It's like, and get the whole crowd laughing at it. Like, that's a skill. Like, that's artwork right there. Because you failed a lot. Like, you made some enemies working on that and putting that together. Yeah. And that's, well, if you look through my joke book, half of my shit's like that I'm not even going to bring up for a long time until it's, like, polished. And
I like that one guy, that fluffy guy, whatever his name is.
Iglesias.
And the dude, Jim something. What is his last? Jim. He's always does that like little high voice in the back of the. I like ketchup.
Gaffigan.
Yeah. Why is this guy? Yeah. Why is he's using that voice again?
I'm gonna get stabbed.
Remember in high school, I really was digging, like Dave Chappelle, he did that. Where was it? The San Francisco show, and he was talking about like the
Who you talking about?
Dave Chappelle special. Like that was my high school shit. That and the Dane Cooks.
Is this San Francisco special the one where he's wearing all blue?
Yeah,
like light blue.
He's got like a suit on, and he's talking about where monkey fucking people gave you
I
AIDS.
think he was wearing a suit.
And he's talking about how the homeless dude held up the bus jerking off and shit. Like
nobody move.
Yeah. That's a day ruiner right there.
AIDS. That's not how you get AIDS. You can't get AIDS from a homeless guy busting a nut on your forehead.
So
that's not how it spreads. He's just like, I didn't know if that was true. I was just trying to make him feel better about himself.
But Dane Cook though at that time was really big.
Oh my God.
He did that Kool-Aid joke.
Unplug his mic.
Dane Cook had some funny shit there for a minute, and then he got outed and everything.
Myself. I muted myself.
He got outed, but I remember we listened to that shit a lot when we were kiddos.
Yeah, I do remember being in high school and watching Dane Cook special. That one where he's like in a circle. Or whatever.
Oh yeah, with the big super finger or whatever.
Yeah, man, that's shit.
Was then somebody out him of being like a joke thief or something?
Yes.
Yeah. That'll ruin you real quick.
Stealing jokes, man.
He wasn't as bad as some of them. Like
Robin
Williams and Dennis Leary were real. You know the Asshole song?
Carlos
by
Mencia?
Yeah, he's real bad.
Yeah.
That Asshole song by Dennis Leary was apparently Louis C.K.'s, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he gave him the idea for the song, more or less. Isn't that crazy? That's like one of the things he's most famous for. That you know what song I'm talking about?
No.
I'm an asshole, Leo. Leo. Oh.
What about Adam Sandler?
I like him.
I like Adam. He's original.
To an extent.
Yeah.
I can appreciate his art.
My wife
like, hates
they
him.
kind of went. The movies have went a little down. I wonder if Jack Black.
I heard that Jim, that Uncut Gems or whatever, is really fucking awesome.
Yeah, but it's completely not the usual
just stand-up
Sandler.
comedy. Yeah, he's doing music and all that other shit.
What was the other one he did? The famous producer he did that was like nobody knew of. Sandy Wexler or something. Yeah.
Wexler.
I thought that was pretty decent, but that Dolomite Lime shit that Eddie did. Oh my God.
My name is Dolomite.
Yeah. I seen that. I was like, oh shit. And they've been talking about him doing stand up, coming out and releasing a special again. Like,
oh yeah. He's got to deal with
fucking Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be tight. I hope.
I
so
hope
you see him on
Martin.
Saturday Night Live?
Yeah. I watched a bunch of his shit.
Martin's on tour right now.
Is he?
He's who the hell was on tour with? Bruce, I think, and a few other
Martin Lawrence?
A few other, yeah, man. He's on tour, right? I just saw D-Ray Davis posted a picture of him, Martin, and a few other comedians all on stage.
Dude, I would love to go see Martin perform. Like he's considered goes down in one of mine as a legend too. You know?
I liked his Def Comedy jam
Yes.
bass.
Yes.
His newest stuff, I didn't really dig that much. Like Run Tell That and stuff. I don't know.
We need another
I
Def
didn't-
comedy jam. That shit was the shit.
Yeah, man.
It's so different now. Remember back to Apollo too, when they would have comedians come out there. Remember they'd have that guy, if you sucked and were bombing,
Oh, yeah.
they'd have that clown come out with the broom
Yeah,
and
the
with the
Sand-
alarm
Sandman,
and brush
man.
your ass off.
Oh, Monique started the wop wop, wop wop. Oh crap, that's fucked up, man.
Nowadays they just let you just die for 5 minutes up there. They just let you bomb and just like let him
This
dig
is punishment
this
enough.
the biggest hole he can dig. Like, get him off the stage. Stop letting him do that.
No,
Why
let
so
him keep
sensitive,
going.
man?
This hurts more than
Yeah,
keeping him
yeah,
off
yeah,
now.
yeah. Just
We're
look
doing
at
him a favor. Doing
Don't
that.
say anything. Just fucking look at him.
Let him learn his
You
lesson.
gonna learn.
Yeah, but that shit was brutal. They were like, the whole crowd too, like, oh,
Yeah.
get off the stage.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? It's so mean.
It is. It seems mean, but I mean, yeah, it
right.
is mean. It's
But
mean.
if your ass couldn't sing, somebody come up there and
That'd
try
be
to
fucked
sing
up.
and they couldn't
I couldn't
sing.
imagine getting on stage and trying to do a show and then the crowd boos you off the
I
stage.
want to know how they got that far. You know that was the joke. Like, somebody was like giving them a
Sandman.
tryout before they
like a
could get-
music plays.
They were like, oh yeah, this person's bad enough. Put them on through.
Damn.
The clown dude's got to make his money.
Yeah, I mean
You
it's
gotta
the same
some
way they
work.
do American Idol and shit. You know what I'm saying? They make
Oh,
you
yeah.
go through all these interviews and knowing that you fucking suck ass. They're like, oh yeah, you're gonna get him on TV right now.
For all the wrong reasons.
Right.
People thinking, I made it. I made it to the
Oh,
next
shit,
round.
They like it. They
Yeah,
like
you
what I did.
Like a virgin.
Yo, but America. Remember when everybody was voting to get that one guy that sucked through? Just kept trying
Yeah.
to see.
Was that William Hung?
Wasn't
Wasn't he
William
American
Hung
Idol?
made a
Probably.
Or American
shit
Got
ton of
Talent?
money. Oh, you just haven't had.
She bad.
Like, have you seen the Pablo Francisco shit that he does? The William Hung Pablo Francisco shit is hilarious. He's making fun of William Hung. I just didn't have professional lessons. If I had professional lessons, somebody he was talking about how his friends. He's like, "Yeah, you're really good, man. You should go out there and try." You really think so? Like, he was making fun. Like, he did a whole bit, like a 10-minute bit on William Hung, and the shit is just. And I mean, it was in the good Pablo Francisco. Like, when you could tell he was all coked up because he's sweating his ass off. He's got a black shirt on, and he's just.
I like when Dave Chappelle's talking about when he got booed. He's like, yeah, I'm sure you guys saw the headlines. I got booed off stage, which was false. I got booed. I never left the stage. He's like, I never got off stage.
I never left.
He's like, I felt so like about that city. Like what I did was I thought about it, got in my car, went to the store, bought a whole bunch of gum, and went around and passed out gum to the homeless people in the city, just so they can eat something and still be hungry. That's how I felt about that city that night. I was like some fucking cold shit. Like,
It's like the shit when Bill Burr blasted.
oh yeah,
the
he went
crowd.
crazy on Philly.
Yeah.
He went crazy on
And
Philly.
they loved
man.
it. They loved
7 minutes.
You fucking bald fat pieces of shit.
6 minutes. Insert insult here for 1 minute. 5 minutes.
Just went ham that. That's hilarious.
I guess another one on my greats would be Sam Kinison. I'm a huge Sam Kinison fan. I love that fucking scream. He's like,
I am fully convinced you were making names up.
Sam Kinison. You don't know who Sam Kinison is?
Nope.
Oh my god, he has stuff today people are still laughing at, and that's what I think makes.
So it's back a
separates
50s, another
comedian
50s comedian.
No.
Oh, he's 80s.
90s, 80s, late 80s, 90s.
He's a guy that screamed a lot.
He would like, yeah, he was talking about. He's
I
like,
thought that was Godfrey.
my old lady left
Gilbert
me.
Godfrey.
He does a little bit of a different scream, but that kind of sounds.
Dude, Sam Kinison, you'll laugh at his shit. He is hilarious, and he died of cocaine.
Wait, what?
He was actually a preacher or a minister before he became this fucking crude, rude shock comic that was just like.
Yikes.
I remember he's talking about his old lady leaving him. He's like, I wrote a song about her. she said, you know, honey, it's just not working out between us. And he's doing the bit. He's like, that's not because all the money's gone, is it, babe? And no. So I wrote a song about her. And he goes to that scream, you fucking whore. And that was like my first time hearing him. And I'm like, and he's like, I want my records back. Like, that was my first introduction of Sam Kinison. And I've always been a fan since then. Like, but that's what I think makes a difference between a great comic or someone that goes down. Like Dave Chappelle has, like, even Richard Pryor. Like, you watch the old shit, like Richard Pryor shit. A lot of it you may not even get because it's up with the times or cracking jokes about things that are going on politically. But there are jokes in there and bits that are timeless. Like, people will laugh in 100 years. They'll see that joke and it's still funny, you know. And I think that's what separates just an average, you know, comedian that gets paid or something from like somebody that's going to go down. Like Dave Chappelle, I have it. Robin Williams has some, you know, funny jokes that he'll go down. As, you know, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, well, what are those?
What? Timeless jokes.
You got one?
Me?
From Robin Williams.
No. I just know that he has a fan base that's like, whoa.
Well, I mean, all of his specials are like an hour and a half long. So.
And Jerry Seinfeld, I mean, he got a huge following. But, I mean, Chris Rock and those kind of guys, they've got jokes that will go down and they'll be funny in 100 years.
Chris Rock for sure. One in particular that I won't bring up.
Women be shopping. There's a comedian that does like music a lot too. He's like newer, almost younger guy. He made a song called "Repeat Stuff." Bo Burnham. You guys heard him at all?
Yeah.
Bob, yeah. Younger kid.
I mess with his. It's a different type of.
Yeah, it's a dry.
Because it's like everything's like music almost. He does like a little bit of stand up, but it's mostly like songs.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those come to the clubs that I've went to at all yet. But hopefully we get one because those guys are pretty cool.
Not too many places got a piano on stage.
Right.
Yeah.
He'd probably be like a pageant-sized comedian, I would say.
Yeah, I think he's pretty big nowadays. If not, he's writing for lots of. He's making money. He's making money.
Facts.
Isn't that like, I guess nowadays what a lot of comedians just end up doing, writing? Writing for some show or sitcom or another comedian.
Absolutely. Or for Saturday Night Live.
Could you imagine just sitting in a room with a bunch of other people that you don't think is funny, but other people think is funny? And it's like, shut the fuck up, Tom! Because you're working on something that's got to be released in like the next episode, and you're like a time crunch. And Tom just keeps coming up with stupid ideas.
But those are the ones that work.
So fucking dumb.
I grew up hearing Pac, Biggie, and Bone Thugs when lyrics were more important than filling your own buzz. We got flooded with whack shit, the fans just froze up. We sat back and watched the music get murdered in cold blood. But fuck it, I got a mic, promise I'll make it right. I'm trying to say it nice, so please go take a hike. Cause you ruined my music and now I ruin your life. I might knock your lights out and do it like Mike, because I'm iron like Tyson and flying like Bison. Scorpion shadow kick, strike you like lightning. Grab the mic in time to finish you for good, cause I'm underpaid, underrated, and misunderstood. They say not to keep it real, you'll never make it far. I still remain real, like fuck it, I'm a star. See, I was cut when I was born, so my mind is scarred. So these rhymes and these lines and these times are hard. I'm saying